1 Peter 4 and 5. Therefore, since Messiah suffered for us in the flesh, arm yourselves also with the same mind. For he who has suffered in the flesh has ceased from sin, that you no longer should live in the rest of your time in the flesh for the lust of men, but for the will of God. For we have spent enough of our past time doing the desires of the Gentiles, and having walked in lewdness, lust, drunkenness, revelries, carousing, and abominable idolatries. They think it strange that you do not run with them into the same excess of riot, blaspheming. They will give an account to him who is ready to judge the living and the dead. For to this end the good news was preached even to the dead, that they might be judged indeed as men in the flesh, but live as to God in the Spirit. But the end of all things is near. Therefore be self-controlled and sober-minded for prayer, and above all things be earnest in your love among yourselves, for love covers a multitude of sins. Be hospitable to one another without grumbling. As each one has received a gift, employ it in serving one another as good managers of the grace of God in its various forms. If anyone speaks, let it be as if the very words of God. If anyone serves, let it be as of the strength which God supplies, that in all things God may be glorified through Yeshua the Messiah, to whom belong the glory and dominion forever and ever. Amen. Beloved, do not be astonished at the fiery trials which has come upon you to test you, as though a strange thing has happened to you. But because you are partakers of Messiah's sufferings, rejoice, that at the revelation of his glory you also may rejoice with exceeding joy. If you are insulted for the name of Messiah, you are blessed, because the Ruach of glory and of God rests on you. On their part he is blasphemed, but on your part he is glorified. For let none of you suffer as a murderer, or a thief, or an evildoer, or a meddler in other men's matters. But if one of you suffers for being messianic, let him not be ashamed, but let him glorify God in this matter. For the time has come for judgment to begin with the household of God. If it begins first with us, what will happen to those who do not obey the good news of God? And if it is hard for the righteous to be saved, what will happen to the ungodly and the sinner? Therefore, let them also who suffer according to the will of God and doing good entrust their souls to him as to a faithful Creator. Therefore I exhort the elders among you, a fellow elder and a witness of the suffering of Messiah, and who also share in the glory that will be revealed, shepherd the flock of God which is among you. Exercise overthought, not under compulsion, but voluntarily, not for dishonest gain, but willingly, not as lording it over those entrusted to you, but making yourself examples to the flock. When the chief shepherd is revealed, you will receive the crown of glory that does not fade away. Likewise, younger people, subject yourselves to the elders. Yes, all of you clothe yourselves with humility, to subject yourselves to one another. For God resists the proud, but gives grace to the humble. Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of God, that he may exalt you in due time, casting all your worries on him, because he cares for you. Be sober and self-controlled. Be watchful, because your adversary, the devil, walks around like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. Withstand him, steadfast in your faith, knowing that your brothers who are in the world are undergoing the same sufferings. But may the God of all grace, who called you to his eternal glory, be Messiah Yeshua, after you have suffered a little while, perfect, establish, strengthen, and settle you. To him be the glory and power forever. Amen. Through Silvanus, our faithful brother, as I consider him, I have written to you briefly, exhorting and testifying that this is the true grace of God in which you stand. She who is in Babylon, chosen together with you, greets you, and so does Mark, my son, greet one another with a kiss of love. Shalom be to all of you who are in Messiah, Yeshua. Amen.